back to Extra Lab Podcast. Today we are very lucky enough to have with us Anika Thompson. Anika, how are you today?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing, everybody? And yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. Anika, I can't say enough. I'm seeing so much green in everything in your screen. So obviously you're an Oregon runner, which is a great honor. So what is it like being part of that history and that culture?
Geez, it's really a dream come true for me. I grew up about 20 minutes from Eugene, so being a part of Oregon athletics has always been a dream of mine, and I've grown up cheering for the Ducks. I went to every football game, every track meet, every soccer game, basketball, every sport you name it. My mom works on campus, so I bleed green and yellow from day one. I love the Ducks. So
Yeah.
it really means a lot to be part of the athletic program here.
And being part, as you said, you grew up 20 minutes, and I'm guessing was it like a childhood dream to compete for Oregon, or when
Yep.
when did you know, oh, I want to be a Duck? When did that get in your head?
I think it really, when we moved here, so I lived up in Alaska first 7 years of my life, and a big part of like growing up in Alaska is I wanted to be a hockey player, and I
Mhm.
always dreamed of playing hockey for Team USA at the time.
Uh-huh.
That was like my dream. And then we moved here to Oregon, and actually like one of the first things we did when we moved down here was run on Hayward Field, the track.
Mhm.
Um, the old Hayward, so it's open to the public, and I just remember running on that track and I was like, wow, I want to be a runner. At
Mhm.
the time, of course, it was a sprinter, like 100 meter, 200 meter runner, but um I'd say, yeah, and then just going to all the sporting events, I was like, I want to be a Duck, especially. At the time, as a young kid, I didn't know exactly what. Duck soccer player, Duck basketball player, Duck track and field athlete, but I'd say the dream just always was there from a young age.
Yeah, I think at least every runner I've talked to, we've always wondered, I don't know if you were running while growing up in Alaska, but what is Alaska just like, even outside of running? I don't know,
Uh,
it's such a interesting state.
yeah, I think Alaska, I've been lucky to travel a lot around the US and elsewhere, but I'd say Alaska is the prettiest state in the
Mhm.
United States. It's so wilderness, kind of untouched by man. Like it's of course there's civilization, but most of it is pretty like nature and mountains everywhere. You see there were moose in my backyard, sometimes grizzly bears.
Oh,
Um, it was also just freezing there too. It's actually freezing. Like
yeah.
funny when I moved here, we'd have snow days,
Mhm.
which not a thing in Alaska. You just go to school when it's -20 outside. That
Just
is so
throw you
different.
into school, let you get there in the snow with all the grizzly bears and all the moose or meese,
Yeah,
everything. That's kind of crazy to think though. So, one of the most beautiful states.
for sure. I recommend anybody if you have the chance to go visit Alaska, especially Denali National Park. I still think about that place every day because it was so beautiful.
Mhm. And in your running journey, when did you were you a runner while living in Alaska?
A little bit, yeah. I was always that kid on the playground who would race everybody
Mhm.
or any sport I played at the time. I did a little bit of cross country for fun.
Mhm.
Um, and it was also cross country skiing. So I did cross country skiing and I liked that.
Mhm.
And then also basketball and soccer. And my favorite part of basketball and soccer was the running. I always liked to just run up and down
Mhm.
the field and the court. I
Yeah.
was definitely a very high energy kid, so
Mhm.
it's always been there.
With all that energy growing up, and obviously, you said yourself you did almost every sport it seems, which is awesome. When did you just put it all together and say, I want to do running or I want to be a runner?
I'd say for me it was high school.
Mhm.
Um, it's crazy going into high school. I thought I was going to be a basketball player,
Mhm.
but then I kept getting kind of hurt. Like I kept rolling my ankles, and I didn't like just getting hurt all the time. And also, I've always liked the individual sport part
Mhm.
of running. And basketball in high school, it just gets kind of toxic. People are mean to each other and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not the running community at all. The running community is really loving and welcoming.
Mhm.
Um, so I tried out for cross country my freshman year of high school. I've always done track, but I was more like 800, 400-meter runner.
Mhm.
And then I did cross country and I was like, I kind of like the longer distance. So then I was like, you know what? I just want to go all in on running. So high school is when I chose to focus.
Mhm. Yeah, I did basketball for a few years myself in high school, and I gotta say, the rolled ankles, you would think as a runner you would have great ankle stability, but like no, that's what gets you.
Yeah.
That's the killer right there. But going back to growing up in Oregon, did you feel like any pressure being a wanting to be a doc and knowing the running was like kind of I would say like, Oregon's obviously the running program is just so, you know, it's a great, great program. Was there like, do you feel any pressure with that or?
I wouldn't say pressure, but I had a lot of people encouraging me to follow my dreams. Like the running community here in Eugene, Oregon is super positive.
Mhm.
Um, the youth track clubs. Um, I was part of a youth track club here in Eugene, and it's amazing that two of my teammates were in that same track club, Emerald Valley Track Club,
Mhm.
um, and they're now on the University of Oregon team. And it's like it's so positively influenced here in the track community to
Mhm.
go chase your dream and run at Oregon. Any kid in Oregon, I'd say, dreams of running at Oregon.
Yeah, Tracktown USA, I believe it's called. And what does it just mean putting on that home state jersey? A lot of athletes will go across the country, will go, cross state or wherever. And what does it just feel like putting on that Oregon singlet?
I'd say I pinch myself. I'm so grateful I get to do it. I love Oregon so much, and
Mhm.
to put on the singlet, it means the world to me, and I'm very honored to wear it.
Definitely.
Every time I put it on, it's magical.
Mhm. I mean, it makes sense. Like it just, I don't know. It feels like representing the home state must just be just surreal, kind of.
Yeah.
But on another note, this is a little off topic, but cross country or track, the debate is always there.
You know, I'm gonna say track, like immediately.
Really?
Yeah. Even though I am a longer distance person, I run 5K, 10K, outdoors.
Hmm.
I like the track because really like to not have tree branches in my way, unstable ground. I
Hmm.
like knowing where I'm at on the track. I just prefer the rhythm of the track, and I'm a very rhythm runner. I like to just clip off splits, and the track just I don't know, it just seems very very honest to me, whereas cross country, you can get a really easy course, and then you can get a really hard course, and then you get an in between course, which I think are the best courses when they're just fair.
Hmm.
But like I did European cross country because I'm a dual citizen with Ireland. So I did European cross country 2 years in a row, and each year the course was just so bad you couldn't even run properly.
Hmm.
Like I had mud up to my ankles, and I'm like, I don't like cross country, but I do like longer distance running. So that is an interesting answer for me, like to say I prefer track over cross country, but I think it's just I like the evenness of the track and the flat ground.
Hmm. Yeah, shout out Ali Zealand. She was a past guest and she had the honor and privilege of going to Australia to run. And she was saying that like overseas the courses are just way different.
Yeah, it's actually it's a whole different sport.
Hmm.
And
Um,
I don't know how you train for that without running through a bunch of mud, I guess.
mhm. What's your like experience running as a dual citizen though? Like courses, just everything around it.
It's been really fun. I've started doing that the past 2 years. So I
Hmm.
represented my first team in 2021, European cross, and then this summer I did U23 track in Finland where
Hmm.
I ran the 10K, and then I did just this winter European cross for U23s, and it's been awesome. I love meeting other people around Ireland on the Ireland team. I love being able to go over to Ireland more often and see my family,
Hmm.
uh, and have them get to watch me race because they can't travel all the way out to the US to watch me race. So
Hmm.
getting to kind of race in front of them has been really fun.
Hmm.
Um, so it's been a really positive experience. I love the European setup over there. They have a lot of fun championships they put on. I get to meet people from other countries, people from my country. It's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
love it so much. Yep.
Yeah, and it just is a great opportunity. Looking at your career, I feel like this indoor track season's just been such a breakout season for you. So like, I mean, looking at your social media, you're reposting. I swear every single week's a different PR, or you
Oh
just
yeah.
out there and kill it. So like, what's gotten you to this point? What's the takeaways? What's the feelings? What's that all like?
I feel like at the end of the day, I'm just really grateful to be healthy.
Hmm.
I think the hardest thing about this sport is seeing people get injured. Like, we all just want to run and not get hurt. And I've been very, very, very fortunate to be lucky enough to just stack consistent mileage and stay healthy. And I think that's the biggest thing is staying healthy. You see improvements. So I think just, I guess now it's my third year in college, 3 years of healthy running will, you'll start seeing PRs and improvements. And of course, so much credit goes towards my teammates and my coaches. Coach Shalane is such a great coach, and I love the training. And then to have the best teammates ever, we have something special at Oregon. We all embrace each other, love each other, and work hard together. Total believer in iron sharpens iron. Like, you can't get better without better teammates, and I love the way everyone works hard here. It's pretty special.
Hmm. And I mean, it speaks a little bit of volume even with yourself, but just bring up your teammates and how helpful they are to you. What's just the value of teammates in Oregon or just to you in general?
It's like your second family, I'd say.
Hmm.
I love my teammates, and you can't accomplish your goals without, and it's not just like the teammates, it's the whole team in general, like the medical staff, the sports therapists we have, the coaches, the other event groups, and then of course, yeah, the teammates. It's just this whole team that supports each other and helps us all achieve our goals. So that's something really special. It's really hard to just do it by yourself. You need a team,
Hmm.
especially a positive team where we embrace each other. No one's like, being competitive with each other. I mean, there's obviously going to be a little bit of that, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to lift each other up and get better. That's why we're in college now, to get better.
Yeah. And also looking at your indoor season, you ended on such a high note. So what's the optimism like going into outdoor and having all that momentum and excitement?
I'm just so excited for outdoor now, because outdoor has my favorite event, which is the 10K.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited for that and just super confident. And I think having confidence is a really great thing to have going into a season, going into races, and it's going to be feel really nice to get on the line, and I'll have a smile on my face and I'll be ready to go. Like, it's a great feeling. So I'm really excited for outdoors.
Yeah, and a 10K, it just like what was your first experience with the 10K like? I feel like it's kind of trial by error.
Yeah. Um, Surprisingly, it went well despite it was some of the worst weather I've ever ran in. It
Mhm.
was pouring rain and windy,
Mhm.
and it was just kind of fun. It was in Corvallis, Oregon at Oregon State University at night.
Mhm.
Um, I was a freshman and I was begging my coach to let me do the 10K, but she was hesitant about letting freshmen do the 10K.
Yeah.
But she let me do it and I was super excited, got to the line, was hanging with the group, and then my rule with the 10K, I'm like, if you can make it to 8 laps to go feeling good, you've done the race. It's just getting to that 8 laps. But I remember when I got to 8 laps to go, that's when I kind of hit a wall. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, just trying to finish the race. Whereas it was a great experience. And now, like, I've learned a lot from it. And I'm like, okay, the goal of every 10K is to make it to 8 laps to go. And then that's when the race begins.
Yeah, and as you said, yeah, it was at Oregon State. Isn't Oregon State the rival of Oregon, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it is. Yep. I'd
Is it?
say Oregon State and Washington.
Mhm.
Those are the two rivals we have.
Yeah. And as you said, the 10K. Is there any time goals you would have surrounding that outdoor or?
Oh, I would say I've had a really cool progression in the 10K. So my freshman year, I went 34:50.
Mhm.
And then my sophomore year, I went, which was last year, 33:50. So I'm like maybe 32:50.
All
The
right, all
way
right.
the way
Consistently.
training is looking is I think I have a really good shot of getting under 33 minutes, and that
Mhm,
would be really exciting for me. Be a U23 Irish record, which would be awesome, and
mhm.
not getting wrapped up in the time, but I'd love to do well at the do well in the 10K to where it can take me to some cool meets, which would be awesome.
Definitely. And as someone who does, say, the 5K, 10K races on more of the upper distance, what's the weekly training look like for you?
It's a lot of strength work, definitely a high mileage. I know some people, of course, training's different for everyone, and there's no one size fits all. But I'd say weekly training is 70 to 80 miles a week, and we have workout on Tuesday, which is more of a speed day.
Mhm,
So some 400s with little rest, but we're going fast on the fours. And we usually do at least 3 miles worth of work. And then on Fridays, the big dog workout, where it's about 6 to 8 miles of mile repeats or 2 mile repeats, tempo type strength work. And
mhm.
then my favorite day of the week, which is the long run, we strap on the super shoes, go out to a flat bike path, and we cruise for like 14 to 16 miles. So it's a lot of long endurance strength work.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
say that's the week. Tuesday, Friday, Sunday.
the
Yep.
big dog workout, the New Oregon way, the big dog workout. I mean,
Yep.
how like you're sitting there the night before the workout. I mean, I was it like, and you're a junior, so obviously you're more used to it now. But I feel like the first few, I guess you're easing your way in, but was like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
So it was.
Uh, it feels like a race. I remember my first year with Shalane workouts.
Mhm,
Every single workout I was like PRing in my mile or like my 400 or something. Like it was literally going out like we were racing.
mhm,
And I had to I it was a lot of I had a lot of anxiety my first year with Shalane, like getting used to the workouts, and every workout was super tough. They're
mhm,
still super tough, but I've gotten used to it and I actually get really excited for them. It's really fun. The
mhm.
workouts are just so fun. Like it's my favorite day of the week. Like it used to be I'd get scared of workouts and I was having a lot of anxiety about them, but now I'm like I love workout days. It's a lot of fun.
What would you say your favorite workout is, and then what would you say your like the hardest workout is? I know it's all
Oh,
off, but like,
well, of course, I'm like playing into my strengths here, but my favorite workout's got to be like mile repeats. I'd say it's 6 by a mile with 1 minute 30 rest, and we do it on the track and just cut down. And then, or the long run. I love long run workouts. Then my least favorite is just anything we do with like really hard speed with I just it's crazy. The speed, it takes time.
mhm,
I like to say I'm an aerobic monster, not a speed demon.
mhm,
So the speed workouts are definitely tough. One of them was like a 300 at your mile pace times three, and then you do 300 all out with 4 minutes rest in between. And I just remember it being the same speed as my mile pace. So I was like really struggling with that one. I kind of just I'm very good at just going the same speed the whole way. It's kind of
Mhm.
funny, but that's my strength for sure.
And so, I love the quote say, aerobic monster.
Yeah.
And when you put yourself in more of a speed like race, like I know you did the mile and indoor and you do that. How do you just like go about kicking or play like placement in a race and stuff like that?
I'd say I actually want to do another mile or 1500
Hmm.
because I don't do it much. And I'd say where I've had success is where it's like I have to kick early. I have to go from about 800 out.
Hmm.
Um, because if it's like 200 to go, it's hard for me to turn it over compared to some people who really have a kick. So I'd say I'm definitely like, all right, 1K to go, 800 out. I'm starting my kick because I'm gonna get swallowed up if I don't.
Yeah. I'm a little similar where my speed isn't great and when I've left it to the last second, I'll have 200 and I'm huffing and puffing and then people will just go right by me.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is what it is, but
Or like not I'm not even like my aerobic isn't tired, but my legs will not just turn it over. I'm like aerobically fine, but my legs are just long striding. They're not working, but it's
uh,
okay.
I did Nike and I was on the double and it was the day after and my legs were absolutely gassed beyond belief, but my aerobic was fine and
Oh yeah.
I had like I think I could have busted out another lap or so, like
Yeah.
quickly, but legs wise, I was done 200 ago, so it evened out, but it was rough. But for you, what was like experiences with doubling and recovering to get yourself ready?
Like doubling workout or like doubling
Ra-
mile like or races.
Yeah, I'd say more races.
I'd say the biggest one for me is like I actually feel quite good after a race. The day after I feel good, I have this pop. It's the day after where I feel like just bad. But
Mhm.
I'd say the biggest one is I get in the ice bath. Even if we're at a hotel, our whole team will coordinate an ice bath to do. So we'll ice bath, get good dinner, and Normatec boots are huge. Luckily, U of O provides those, so I'm always in the Normatec boots after a race.
Mhm. Definitely. I mean, the Norman attacks I feel like are so clutch. I mean, at least with my experience with it, I tried putting my legs up to get the blood flowing while having the Normatex on, and it was an absolutely painful
It's
experience.
so painful. I can't do it elevated. I just sit in them.
Um, Yeah,
Elevated tough.
and I gotta bring it up. We talked about it a little bit before, but media day, right? Oregon's media day. Quacktavious.
Yes.
Tell us about Quacktavious.
So it was really funny. Quacktavius is new this year,
Hmm.
and I saw on Instagram, like, you know how colleges have the Barstool accounts?
Yeah.
So on Barstool Ducks, they posted this live duck at the football game getting taken away by animal control.
Hmm.
And I was like, no way, that's so funny. Like, someone brought a live duck to the football game and animal control had to take it out. And
Hmm.
like, it went viral and everything. And then I was like, I wonder whose duck that was or where they got the duck. What's the story with the duck? And then first day of school, I'm walking to class and I see this dude. His name's Jeremy Jackson, and he was walking his duck. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's a duck walking. And like, of course, the students are going crazy. And
Do you have a leash for the duck or?
no, the duck just followed him.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah, I just followed him around. And so I went over, I'm like, oh my gosh, can I like meet your duck? And he was like, of course. And I got down and the duck like nibbled up my sleeve and was like really funny and stuff. And I hung out with the duck for about 5 minutes. I'm like, does he have a name? And he's like, oh yeah, Quacktavius. And I was like, oh wow. He's like, oh yeah, he's got an Instagram account too. So I found the Instagram account, um, took a photo with Quacktavius, and then I said, like, oh, great way to start the school year. Met Quacktavius, and then I just see him around campus all the time. Him and his owner, they love to just walk around campus and visit the students. And now he's gone to many media days of Oregon athletics, and
Mhm.
he's part of the Oregon athletics. He's Oregon at this point. Everyone loves Quactavius. And he's
Quack.
got merch too. Wonder let me find my shirt. It's pretty cool. Yeah, my Quactavius merch right here.
There you go. Quactavius, the most unknown rise to fame right there.
Yep. He's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, it seems so silly though. Like it's just so cool. The Ducks just because I mean it's Oregon. It's the best runners in the country, and everyone's just holding this duck and the Quactavius. I mean the social media has to be booming at this point.
Oh yeah, yep. He's pretty social media famous, and everyone goes crazy for Quactavius. Anytime I post Quactavius, I get a lot of likes on the story or people asking about him, and I think that's really cool.
Mhm. And as a member, as like an Oregon student, when you're not running, what are you up to? Like, is there any hobbies or anything really cool that's near Oregon that you like to do?
I'd say it's tough. I feel like I'm very engulfed in the student athlete lifestyle.
Hmm.
Um, it's very routine, but I'd say things I like to do is our group, we love to get like sweet treat or dessert, sweet treat o'clock. So we'll find fun places to get dessert.
Hmm.
Um, oh, so much good hiking here. Um, Walking around, we call it Hot Girl Walk.
Okay.
Um, there's access to trails and right near a river, so just walking to the river.
Hmm.
But we live pretty disciplined lifestyle. Wouldn't say we party too much or anything like that, but
Hmm.
um, I'd say the biggest hobbies are, yeah.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
really tough to say. I'm so like I guess in on the running right. I'm locked in, you know. But
and as like an Oregon athlete. What are the facilities like? I think a lot of people who are probably watching this have seen this one Oregon video where they go through the track facilities and there's a barber shop, there's a
yeah,
nutrition station. I don't know what they don't have at this point. So what is that like?
it's honestly amazing. The facilities here are, I think, some of the nicest, or if not the nicest in the country. Even the football facility is so nice too. All the facilities here, I mean, Phil Knight does so much. All the donors
Hmm.
do so much for the university, and it really is super grateful as an athlete to have this because, um, yeah, it's like it's mind blowing, really.
Hmm.
And there's no excuse having a facility like that to not work hard every day and do your best because, like, you have all the resources to become as good as you want to be. So I'd say I'm very grateful for it and I'm just mind blowing and I cherish it every day because I know it's really a privilege to have facilities like that and I really try not to take it for granted or let it pamper me, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I never knew until a few months ago that Phil Knight was a runner, which has
Yeah.
always been like it's still a weird realization for me today, but yeah, I don't know. Nothing further on the comment. I always forget. What is
Yeah,
like
and I always think it's cool Phil Knight grew up in Oregon too. He's from the Portland area.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
I love seeing people within the state. Same with like Steve Prefontaine, he's from Coos Bay, Oregon. Like these great Oregonians do great things. It's pretty cool.
yeah. And the last question I have for you is the gear haul at Nike. Like, how much stuff do you get?
We get a lot. Yep, yep. I will say though, like some I know some schools get a gear haul every season. We get one big gear haul the beginning of the season, and it comes with the Nike athlete backpacks.
Hmm.
Um, shoes between a trainer, so we get I'm an Invincible, Nike Invincible person, so I get the Nike Invincible, the Nike Streak Fly for workouts, Nike Vaporfly for workouts,
Mhm.
and Nike Pegasus for um just all the Pegasus is for everything. And then oh yeah, we also get spikes, cross country and track. And it's really cool, yeah. Um I think we get kind of spoilt with gear to be honest.
Yeah, but it must be pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Yep. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Annika, for being a guest, and
yeah, thank you for having me.
and thank you everyone for watching. Till our next lap. See ya.
Yeah, thank you.